Dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Bhaskaran, Assistant Professor from University of Delhi. Today we are going to discuss about the module Magnetic Force Microscopy Instrumentation under the paper Surface Analytical Technique 1. The learning objective of this module are: first we will discuss about principle, components, experimental setup, experimental considerations. Introduction. A low temperature magnetic force microscope was constructed for this thesis based on Dan Rogers' MRFM magnetic resonance force microscope design. As with all low temperature scanning microscope, our MFM is a fairly complicated instrument. It incorporates a high vacuum probe, cryogenic vibration isolation, a fiber optic sensor, microfabricated cantilevers, a variety of commercial and homemade electronics and control software. The functional completed instrument is a powerful tool for characterizing material through high resolution magnetic imaging. Magnetic force microscopy MFM is a special mode of operation of the scanning force microscope. The technique employs a magnetic tip which is brought close to a simple sample and interacts with the magnetic stray field near the surface. The strength of the local magnetostatic interaction determines the vertical motion of the tip as it scans across the sample. MFM was introduced shortly after the invention of the atomic force microscope and became popular as technique that offer high imaging resolutions without the need for special sample preparation or environmental condition. Since the early 1990s, it has been widely used in the fundamental research of magnetic material as well as the development of magnetic recording components. The technique uses a magnetically coated sharp tip attached to a flexible cantilever. The tip is placed close to the sample surface 10 to 100 nanometer and interacts with the stray field emanating from the sample. The image is formed by the scanning the tip laterally with the respect to the sample and measuring the force or force gradient as a function of position. An imaging taken with a magnetic tip contains information about both the topography and the magnetic properties of a surface. MFM detects the quantity that is of particular interest for the magnetic recording process, namely the magnetic stray field produced by a magnetized medium or by a right head. The magnetic transition, geometry and stray field configuration in longitudinal recording media. Nowadays, the main development in MFM are focused on the quantitative analysis of data, improvement of resolution, and the application of external fields during measurement. The interpretation of images acquired by MFM requires knowledge about the specific near field magnetostatic interaction between probe and sample. Other topics to be considered are the properties of stable probes, the achievable spatial resolution, and the inherent restriction of the method. More detailed information can be found, for example, in articles by Roger et al., Porthan et al., and Hartman. Valuable information can also be found in the work of Koch and and et al.
In the present module,
We will also demonstrate some application of the technique made by our research group in the study of magnetic vortices formation in sub-microsized structure, as well as further magnetic property of silicon and germanium based magnetic semiconductor thin films. Principle of MFM. MFM is one of the two pass methods in the scanning probe microscopy (SPM). In the first pass, topography of the surface is obtained in tapping mode, which is affected by the short range van der Waals force between the sample surface and the probe. In the second pass, the probe in resonance traces the topography got in the first pass with a small z offset to sense the long-range magnetic interaction. The resonance frequency and phase of the cantilever vibration are affected by the interaction between the out-of-plane magnetic stray field of the sample surface and the magnetic moment of the tip. This interaction is effective in the range of 10 to 100 nanometer. The resonance frequency map can provide quantitative data about the out-of-plane stray field on the surface of the specimen if the magnetic moment of the tip is known. The phase map can provide qualitative data about the changes in the out-of-plane stray field along the surface of the specimen. Hence, it can also be used to map the magnetic microstructure. In the present study, the phase change is used to study the local magnetic structure in polycrystalline iron specimen. Here, setup of MFM are shown in this figure and component of this setup. The main components of MFM instruments are: point 1. Piezoelectric scanner. Move the sample in an X, Y and Z directions. Voltage is applied to separate electrodes for different directions. Point 2. Cantilever. 3. Laser. And number 4. Photodetector. And 5. Magnetic probe. Piezo tube. A piezoelectric tube is used for high resolution positioning during scanning. The tube, manufactured by Stavle Sensor, has quadrant silver electrodes and one center electrode. The tube is epoxied into a Maker holder, which is then fastened to a titanium kinematic mount using screw. Wire are silver epoxide to each electrode and terminated by the connector embedded in the Maker piece, such that the wires are never directly handled and are thus protected. A titanium piece is epoxied into the other end of the piezo tube. The sample holder is attached to the piezo tube by fastening it to the titanium mount using 3 0 to 80 screws. Cantilevers. There are many available options for cantilever for use in the magnetic force microscope. Commercial MFM cantilevers are available. These are made by coating AFM cantilevers with a sputtered magnetic film to make them sensitive to magnetic fields. However, as the films cover the entire cantilever, they tend to dramatically reduce the quality factors. This can potentially reduce the sensitivity in the case of thermally limited measurements. Also, the magnetic moment tends to be fairly large, which can be useful for generating a large signal when imaging a hard magnetic sample which is not significantly disturbed by the tip field, but it can be problematic when imaging a sensitive sample such as vertices in the superconductor. Commercial MFM cantilever were used in our MFM initially, but are not currently used. AFM cantilever can also used after evaporating a stable film into the tip oneself. Piezo-resistive cantilever have been used in low temperature MFMs. They have the advantage of not require alignment of a deflection sensor to the cantilever. However, the sensitivity is not as good for piezo-resistive detection as it is for interferometer detection. Also, piezo-resistive heating leads to cantilever heating. Interferometer, it implemented a fiber optic interferometer Roger et al. 1989 as the deflection sensor in this microscope, and in GASP Fabry Parrot laser diode with a wavelength of 1310 nanometer manufactured by PDLD serve as the light source for the interferometer. This wavelength is used because it is above the band gap in silicon such that light absorption, which causes cantilever heating and has also been found to affect the cantilever frequency, is minimized. The laser diode is packaged with an FC receptacle for simple connection to the optical fiber. A dual-stage optic isolator with FC-APC connector joins the laser diode to the primary input of a 10/90 coupler. The isolator allows light to enter the coupler from the laser diode but attenuate light reflected back to the laser by 58 dB in order to prevent instabilities in the laser caused by optical feedback. FM controller and detector. In addition to the interferometer, the critical components of the cantilever measurement system are an FM controller and FM detector made by Nanosav AG. The combination of the two instruments controls the frequency modulation detection. The cantilever vibration signal from the interferometer is used as an input signal. The FM detector measures the cantilever frequency using a phase lock loop by maintaining a 90-degree phase shift between the input and the reference. The reference frequency is provided by voltage controlled oscillator VCO and is adjusted in a feedback loop to maintain this phase relationship. The voltage used to control the oscillator also serves as the frequency shift signal during a measurement. The reference is phase shifted by the FM controller to give a 90-degree phase shift between the cantilever drive voltage and cantilever response, and is convolved with the output of an amplitude controller to drive the cantilever at a constant amplitude at its resonant frequency. The FM detector outputs the two voltages corresponding to the cantilever frequency shift. One channel is intended for use in a feedback loop during constant frequency scanning. The FM controller outputs signal for the amplitude and dissipation. The dissipation voltage reflects the drive power needed to maintain the cantilever amplitude set point. During scanning, the frequency output is monitored. The drive voltage from the FM controller is applied to the sample holder to drive the cantilever capacitivity. A DC voltage is added to the AC drive voltage to increase the capacitive force on the cantilever. Requirements of MFM tips. The cantilever or tip assembly is the critical element of a magnetic force microscope. Unlike in STM and repulsive mode of AFM, the tip shape is important due to the long range nature of magnetic force. Cantilevers with the integrated sharp tip are now fabricated in range number out of silicone based materials. These tips can be coated with a thin layer of magnetic material for the purpose of MFM observations. The spatial resolution in MFM imaging is related to the tip sample distance but also to the magnetized volume of the tip that is actually exposed to the sample stray field. Thus, in order to improve lateral resolution, it is beneficial to restrict the magnetically sensitive region to the smallest possible size. Ideally, the effective volume of the probe would consist of a small single domain ferromagnetic particle located at the probe apex. So-called super tips have been developed based on this idea. However, there is a physical lower limits for the dimension because an ultra small particle becomes super paramagnetic. The demand for a strong signal produced by the small sensitive volume indicates the need to maximize the magnetic moment in the tip. For this reason, a single domain tip will give the best results and is also easier to describe theoretically. Materials with a high saturation magnetization should be used in order to limit the required. The wall defined magnetic state of a tip should be stable during scanning and it should interfere as little as possible with the sample magnetization. Application of MFM in the study of silicon and germanium based magnetic semiconductor. Motivation driven by the promise of controlling charge and spin degrees of freedom and its consequent technological impact through the realization of spintronic devices. Many different ferromagnetic FM semiconductors have been investigated over the last few years. The potential advantages of this class of devices in the form of ultra-dense nano-volatile semiconductor memories, spin transistors, and light-emitting devices with the polarized output, etc., are expected to be, in addition to the low energy required to flip a spin, higher speed, greater efficiency, and better stability. Thus far, most of the work on the FM semiconductors have been focused on Mn containing compound in which manganese replaces a fraction of group 2 or 3 sublattice. For practical reason, however, the interest in the specific FM semiconductor depends on the existence of magnetic activity near or above room temperature as well as its compatibility with the current microelectronic industry. Mn containing silicon or germanium based compounds partially fit these requirements since they possess a mature processing technology and because of some recent experimental work reporting Curie temperature well above 300 Kelvin. Furthermore, the low solubility of manganese in crystalline silicon or germanium can be partially circumvented by using their amorphous counterparts, which also provide a more homogeneous manganese distribution. Indeed, this is a particularly interesting feature since change and spin state are sensitive mostly to the local environment, so the magnetic activity existing in silicon or germanium should also be observable in amorphous silicon and germanium. Based on these facts, this section report on the MFM characterization of amorphous silicon and germanium thin film containing different amounts of manganese and cobalt. Even though the amorphous character of the edge deposited films, thermal annealing at increased temperatures induces their crystallization. Following this procedure, their magnetic properties have been systematically investigated as the function of the impurity concentration and atomic structure. The polycrystalline iron 99.9% specimen of 10 mm diameter and 5 mm height was annihilated at 373 Kelvin at 4 hours, followed by furnace cooling to remove internal stresses. One of the plane surface was prepared using conventional metallographic technique up to 0.25 micrometer diamond polishing. To get stress-free surface, colloidal silica polishing was used. Micro hardness indents were made on the specimen surface to enable easy identification of reference location. Electron backscatter diffraction (EBSD) study was performed using a JES Supra 55 Gemini field emission gun (FEG SEM) at an oscillating voltage of 20 kV, an aperture of 60 micrometer and a working distance of 12 mm to obtain the crystallographic orientation to correlate with the magnetic microstructure obtained with MFM. Experimental considerations: thin films of amorphous SiMn and germanium manganese were prepared by conventional radio frequency scattering. The manganese concentration in the samples was in the nearly 0.1 to 24 at concentration range. Moreover, thin films of amorphous SiCO and GeCO were also deposited by sputtering. The cobalt concentration in the sample stayed in the nearly 1.7 to 10.3 at percentage range. Pure samples were also prepared following identical conditions. The films, typically 700 nanometer thick, were deposited principally on a C quartz and carbon silicon substrate. After deposition of the film were submitted to thermal annealing treatments in the range of 200 to 900 degrees Celsius. The sample were characterized by variety of experimental methods. Point 1. The composition of the films was determined by energy dispersive X-ray spectrometry (EDS). Point 2. The atomic structure of the films was determined by Raman scattering spectroscopy and X-ray diffraction (XRD) experiments. Point number 3. The surface of the films was determined by scanning electron microscopy (SEM) and atomic force microscopy (AFM). Point 4. Their optical properties were examined by means of transmission measurements. Point 5. The electrical resistivity of the films was measured using the standard van der Waals technique, and their magnetic property were determined by superconducting quantum interference device SQUID magnetometry and MFM. Except the SQID measurements, all experimental characterizations were always carried out at room temperature. Overview of MFM. In MFM measurements, the magnetic force between the sample and the tip can be expressed as this formula, where M is the magnetic moment of the tip approximated as a point dipole, H is the magnetic stray field from the sample surface, and mu naught is the magnetic permeability of free space. Because the stray magnetic field from the sample can affect magnetic state of the tip and vice versa. Interpretation of the MFM measurements is not straightforward. For instance, the geometry of the tip magnetization must be known for quantitative analysis. Typical resolution of 30 nanometer can be achieved, although resolutions as low as 10 to 20 nanometer are attainable. So students, let's summarize all the content that we have studied today. Since its invention, MFM has become a variable workhorse in research on magnetic materials, device development and quality control in the magnetic recording industry. The main strength of the method is to achieve a fairly high resolution in magnetic imaging without special sample preparation and under various environmental conditions. The lateral resolutions which can be obtained routinely with probe commonly used today amounts to below 100 nanometer for sufficiently strong field vibrations or variations. Individual flux quanta have been detected on superconductors. The spatial resolution is, however, not sufficient to detect details of magnetization, rotation within interdomain boundaries. On the basis of adequate model calculations, it is at least possible to distinguish between different valve types and to deduce other micromagnetic features hardly accessible to many analysis methods. The stray field produced at a local scale by MFM probes can be used to induce magnetoresistance on stable device. It can, on the other hand, seriously perturb the magnetization of a sample. MFM is a well-established method with well-known limitation and shortcomings. For the future, it cannot be expected that dramatic breakthrough will happen. For example, in improving the resolution or sensitivity by an order of magnitude or more. However, special areas of application such as low temperature MFM and or MFM under UHV conditions will become further developed and easier to perform. Even in these exotic field, commercial instruments will be available. For standard application under ambient conditions, technical improvements will allow MFM to be used under fairly high externally applied magnetic fields. An increasing availability of easy to use dedicated commercial instruments will ultimately make MFM a widely distributed standard method, accessible to anyone involved in the research and technical application of magnetic phenomena. Thank you.